Hello, so today we are going to do this problem called best times to buy and sell stack 2 from Leetcode 30-day challenge. So the problem says we have an array for which the ith element is the price of a given stack on day I. So each element of the array is the price of a given stack. Of a day, the day number here is just the index at that position. And we want to design an algorithm to find the maximum profit. Okay, you may complete as many transactions as you like. We want to find the maximum profit, and you can do as many transactions as you like, which means buy one and sell one share of the stack multiple times. You may not engage in multiple transactions at the same time, so you must sell the stack before you buy again. Okay, so that means here that once you buy a stack, you have to sell it before buying another one. And the goal is to find the maximum profit. So this definitely kind of tells me we are finding the maximum profit here indicates that maybe we will need to do some dynamic programming, right? So we have this array here, we 0, 1, 2, because there's nothing that will tell you what's the best way to do this. So I'm thinking just try all of combinations and use dynamic programming to not repeat calculations, and that would be pretty much it. So with this one, we can buy on day 2 here. So the days are indexed, it seems, from 1, at least with respect to this explanation here. So we buy on day 2 and then we sell on day 3 here. So we sell here with price 5, right? So we gained profit 4. And then we buy again on day 4, so price 3, and then we sell on day 5, so 6. So we have 6, we have 3 as a profit. And at this point we can't buy 4 because then we won't be able to sell it, right? For this case, so that's the overall best case here. Here we buy on day 1, so that's price equal to 1 here. And then we can sell on day 5, right? So that will give you 4. That's the best you can do. The other option is, well, let's try the other option, which means sell here, which means profit is 1, but then we'd have to buy at 3 and then sell at 4, so the profit is 1, so the overall profit is just 2. So this is definitely the best we can do. So sometimes just buying and then holding at the end may be the right solution, right? It's not like just buying and selling on the next day like we did here. Well, here we did it, but we didn't buy this one. So also you can skip a day, right? You can skip buying a stock or selling a stock on a specific day, right? And here with this, we can't, like, whatever we do, we will lose, right? So sometimes it's better to just not do anything and get 0 profit than get minus negative profit, right? So this is the overall idea, right? So a couple of things I think we need to come up with. So definitely I think need some kind of state to define some kind of states here, right? So we have a couple of cases, right? We can have both a stack, right? So holding a stack, right? So which means basically that we already bought one. So and then we can be like holding nothing, right? And we have some choices, right? We can either buy a stock, buy a stock at prices I, right? So we also need to know the day, right? Position. Or sell a stock, do nothing, right? So if I try to represent this, that would be I, of course, right? And then maybe something like okay, well, actually thinking about this more, I think we don't need to do. We may not to do all this complicated stuff. How about trying to do the brute force thing where whenever we can make a profit, just do it, right? So that would be something along the line of profit starting from 0 here, and then for let's just start from the range from 1 to the length of prices, and then pretty much here take price at this minus price at the position before. Making a profit means that the difference is bigger than 0, right? And so if that's the case, then just add it. So just add this to the profit, and at the end just return. I'm not sure if this would work here for this case, but let's try it. Okay, let's just first go back to so but yeah, I'm missing somehow an if here. Okay, so that looks good. Let's try it on the other ones. Okay, looks like it worked. So let's submit. And that passes. Cool. So it's pretty straightforward. I think we could also solve this using zips by just zipping the two arrays together. So that would be, let's try it here. So let's do okay, let's try this. So that would be, let's say we have a list. Let's take one of these. So if we take this one, let's call it maybe array, right? So let's try to zip array with array starting from by skipping the first position. So we zip this with this with this, and until the end, right? And so what we are doing here is we check this one and this one, and if we can make a profit, we do it, right? But and then we advance only by one each time, right? So once we compare these two, I minus 1 and I, the next time I is this, so we compare this and this, right? So it's exactly this that we need. And then we need to get the difference between all of them. And we can take the sum of those that are bigger than 0, right? So let's say this is, so from this we could maybe filter basically those that have x1 minus x0, right? And this is using a lambda on x, right? And this will need to be bigger than 0, right? So that the difference is bigger than 0. So if we do that, has no attribute filter. Let's just move this from beyond the list. Like that. Okay, let's go back to list again. Is it filter or is Python filter? Oh, you need to pass the. Yep, you need to pass the list, right? So that's my problem. So let me just first make this here list, right? And then we could do filter here and pass the list. So if I do a list out of this, you can see we have those that will give us a result, right? And then from there, we could just get the sum of this. So we need the sum of course, of the values, right? So yeah, we need to map and then all of that stuff. So let's write it in a cleaner way. So here, that would mean we definitely know that we need to do this. Zip here. And then we could just go, so this is the list. Let's call them values. And then we need these values, we need to do something, right? So we wanna, let's call it x1 minus x0. And we of course need this to be if is bigger than 0. And this is for x in values. And then once we get that, we want to take the sum. And then this is what we want to return. So actually it's prices. Okay, looks good. Let's just try to make this a little bit easier to read by saying this is P1, P2, and then P1. Actually, we need P2 minus P1. P2 it still works, so let's submit. We could also make this straightforward, like just one line over here using this. I'm not sure if this is more readable, but yeah. Okay, so let's submit. Okay, so that works. So this is a pretty easy problem actually. Yeah, so that's it for this. See you on the next one.